Hi, I'm Kimberly Lewis, your Motivational Muse. Today, we're going to talk about developing metrics for a process-driven model within your nonprofit. So, developing metrics for a nonprofit model requires a number of key steps, and these steps are going to drive efficiency, productivity, scalability, and organizational success. Let's get into it. Here are some of the key metrics to track. Developing and tracking the efficiency and productivity of your organization's process is critical, and seeing a return on the investment that you've made in the systems, the process, and the talent. The saying, time is money, really applies when tracking efficiency. The time it takes to complete a specific process, such as processing a donation, onboarding a volunteer, or completing a grant application, can be a time saver or a time drainer. Now, this is referred to as cycle time. A reduction in cycle time indicates improved efficiency. It's equally as important to track throughput. Throughput is the volume of work completed within any given time period, such as the number of donations processed per week or the number of volunteers recruited per month. Increased throughput demonstrates improved productivity. Many nonprofits struggle with identifying their cost per unit because they miscalculate what it really costs to provide each service, or they haven't identified the unit cost or the cost per unit. The cost per unit is the cost associated with completing a specific task or process. This includes the hourly wages of the staff person doing the work, occupancy costs, which is rent and utilities for the space used to perform that work, and other expenses that are necessary to deliver the service. A decrease in cost per unit indicates improved efficiency and resource management. Another overlooked metric is resource utilization. This is a measure of how effectively resources such as staff, time, your budget, and technology are being used to complete processes. Improved resource utilization suggests that you have a better process and it is resulting in better optimization. A simple way to determine this is to conduct a time study on each major process being performed by a staff member or a volunteer. Now, to conduct a time study, this entails that the person logs their work from start to finish during any given period of time, perhaps for a week or maybe even 2 weeks, since 2 days are seldom the same. Then you review the log and identify opportunities for consolidation of tasks or even elimination of certain tasks. The log can also identify errors and how many times an error was corrected. The frequency of errors or mistakes in any given process is a time drain, such as the number of incorrectly processed donations or mistakes in acknowledgement letters. This can point to the need to add a review process or see if it takes less time than just having to redo the task completely to give it to another employee. You can decrease this error rate, and this will indicate improved consistency and quality control. Now, it's also a best practice in any organization to measure client satisfaction. Measuring satisfaction levels through surveys or feedback mechanisms is very common. Higher satisfaction scores suggest improved consistency and quality of the service delivery. Many organizations are certified or even accredited by private bodies or payment organizations. So ensuring compliance and ensuring that it is tied to success and sustainability is a must. If the processes related to regulatory compliance are on track, then you need to ensure that you are adhering to each of those standards. Now that the nonprofit is operating well and growing, guess what? It might be time to add new staff, volunteers, or new programs. It's also time to measure the recruiting and onboarding processes. So for example, How long does it take to train and integrate new team members? A shorter onboarding time could indicate a scalable and efficient process. Regarding program expansion, ask yourself, how quickly can new programs or services be implemented using the already established processes? Faster expansion suggests, again, a scalable model. Likewise, measuring the effectiveness of each program should also be tracked. It's always a good idea to track your outcomes, track your success, and track your programs so that you know whether or not you're operating with greater efficiency, which leads to greater success.